Hello everybody, let's do something a little bit different today. We're gonna tune up my lawnmower, where you put just regular gas in here and you check the oil over here. You know, the tip I'll give you is when I'm doing this kind of messy stuff, I'm as manly man as anybody. Don't mind getting my fingers dirty, but when it's just nasty like this, it's nice to have a pair of these rubber gloves. And so my oil is good, but I bought this mower 3 or 5 or something years ago, and this year I thought maybe I ought to do some kind of tune-up on it. And let me show you. So what you got to do is, there's a spark plug, and everybody should have a socket set like that, and then the socket set is going to be a bigger socket, and that is for, yeah, I took that off of there, that just pulls right off. That's for spark plugs. Okay, and the way you do that is simply, very easily. Now I'll tell you what, when you put this spark plug back on, you want to make sure you don't put it too tight. There's also something called a gap, and the gap on a spark plug is the difference from that wire down to this part here, and you have to have a measuring tool to make sure. On mine it is 0.3 hundredths of an inch or something. Whatever it is, there's a gap tool. It's really easy. You just slide it in there, tap down on that, and make sure the gap is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this good spark plug back in. And I did take a little bit of oil and put it around there. Just good form. Just a little bit of oil on the threads. And you put that back in, and like I say, you do not want that to be tight. You want it just to be snug. Just snug like that. And that's fine. Don't make it too tight. You put that back on, and that's good. But then I went online and I ordered this one for next time. So this is RJ, but it ends with an HX, and that means for racing, and that's what's suggested by the manufacturer that I use on this lawnmower. You can see that it's all burned up at the bottom of it, and when you have it, it's all black and burned up at the bottom of that, it's dirty. And in my opinion, this air filter should not have a screw on it. It should have a easy on, easy off, 1/4 twist, and this thing comes off, and then it would be able to pull this off, and then you just knock this thing loose. And that's just a regular old, what that is I bought a knockoff replacement filter, but then I went online and bought a whole case of the real McCoys, Briggs and Stratton real McCoys, for next time. Okay, but for the time being, this one will work fine. That fits in there just like that. You do that. And I just put the screw right back on. And you want that air filter clean. and your lawnmower will start right up. This thing should have a bright orange stripe on it that says clean before each usage, and this screw should just be a quarter turn. Pull that off and it's good. Look at these instructions here, I'll show you. Tip mower on its side as shown, rock mower back and forth. Can you believe that's the way you do it? It's just to turn the motor on its side. That is just too funny. That's the way they tell you to do it. And you turn the lawnmower on its side, unscrew that, and dump that out. So in preparation for that, we need some good old Pennzoil SA30. Get a quart of it, or you can get name brand Briggs and Stratton. Something to dump just a little coffee thing to properly dispose of the oil. Got my gloves on, and be sure if you're wearing something, put some paper towels ready to grab. Remember what your dad taught you. Put down newspaper around the target area. Here's the first thing we're going to use paper towels for. Just wipe that off so we don't get any gook in that. Put that in a safe spot so it doesn't get any dirt on it. Kind of important. To just not be a mess, I'm going to take this top cowling off. Just so it doesn't leak on that part there. And it's just dumping in to there. Maybe we should put the camera over here, I guess. Can't believe that they just want you to take why there's not an oil plug on that thing, and they want you to actually turn the lawnmower over and do it like this. Isn't that kind of crazy? Just like that. This mower's about, I don't know, 3 or 5 years old. It's hard to tell how fast time goes by. Look at that oil, it's kind of black and nasty. And the mower was working perfect. It just occurred to me maybe I should change it. Well, it's dripping out there. Here's what the bottom of it looks like. Pretty nice on the bottom. Looks like my blade is okay. I suppose if I wanted to, I could take the blade and get it sharpened. But I think the blade's okay. Probably should, but I'm not gonna. That would probably be another part of a tune-up if you were gonna do it. Okay, so we all dumped out here, most of it. Guess there's not that much oil in there. That's where the one with paper towels comes in. Okay, now there's a couple of ways you can go when it comes to oil. You can get good old Pennzoil, get a quart of it, or you can get name brand Briggs and Stratton, both SA30. You'll see that this one has 48 fluid ounces in it, and this one has a quart. And no matter which one you use, you're going to see, hopefully this shows up on the camera, that this is full to a point. Can you see that bouncing around up there? Does that go back and forth? And then you can see measurements down one side. Let me take a picture of that. And most of these, not only are these plastic cans good for pouring, I'd still use a funnel, but they both have that side gauge on it. Are you able to see it on that one? On the Pennzoil? I think you can, hopefully. Take a picture of it. So basically, whichever one you use, you know how much you have to start with, and you'll be able to see it on the line that goes up and down, and you know how much your motor takes because you look in the instructions manual, either that you have the paper manual that came with it, or go online and look for your instruction manual. And then you dump out oil until, for instance, if it says on my motor it takes 20 ounces. So for some reason or other they sell it in 48 ounces and the smaller one is 18 ounces. So what I would do is, see the 44, I would dump it down, well you can do the math. I would take it from 48 down to 28. And then the next time I do it, I take it down to the 8, of course. And I have some left over, so whichever one you use. And you simply dump, what I would do is I would dump about 19 ounces in. If you think it's supposed to be 20, run it a little bit, let it drain down, and then fill it to perfect, and then when you're perfect, you're perfect. And don't have to do it again until next year. So whichever one you want to use. I like Pennzoil, Briggs and Stratton is good, who knows. Okay, so there you go, it's that simple. When you get a lawnmower like this, I'd suggest, oh, there we go, good job, spill it all over the place. We have our paper towels right at hand. What I was saying is, if you get a lawnmower like this, or when you go to buy, you get another paper towel out, wipe that up, and that's why you have paper towels in your pockets on these things. But anyway, I was going to say, when you buy a lawnmower, I think getting a self-propelled lawnmower is a really good way to go. So we'll start it and see if it heats the oil up a little bit. And where we're at. Okay, see, it's nice and hot now. I heated it up good. But you want to do this, and where I decided to do this project today, I didn't anticipate doing this today, but you have to wait till you're out of gas. Because if you turn it over when you're full of gas, of course, the gas will all dump out. Well, let's see how we're doing on oil. I'm just going to dump a little bit more in. There's the oil we took out of there. And we'll put a lid on that and dispose of that properly. Did you see where Dad was right? Put newspaper down and don't get it on the driveway. It's always a good idea.